I'm Naijha Wright Brown, host of Naijha Speaks, where I help you find your vegan soul through food, people, events, and culture. Also contributing for Unchained TV and Black USA News. Today, we're going to meet the founder of Green Box Kitchen, located in Wilmington, Delaware. And later on, we'll take a trip around Alkemia Earth. Please welcome Jason Aviles. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm fabulous, fantabulous. I'm so happy to have you on, and I'm so happy you came down to the land of Kush to come see us because that's how we connected. So tell us, what is Green Box Kitchen, and how did it all get started?
Green Box Kitchen is a fast casual, 100% plant-based food concept. We specialize in wholesome, nutrient-dense, 100% plant-based menu items like cold pressed juices, smoothies, Buddha bowls, acai bowls, sandwiches, waffles. So almost pretty much like 95% of our menu is alkaline. Most of our menu is raw. All of our ingredients are made from scratch, even our breads. And the concept really came from a nonprofit. So we started as a nonprofit called Wilmington Green Box, where we train, educate, and employ teens from the local community while going into neighborhoods categorized as food deserts and introducing healthy food options. So this was roughly around 2015 when we launched Wilmington Green Box with one teen in a push cart and cold pressed juices that we made in house from scratch. And we took this teen and we took this push cart and we went into just about every surrounding neighborhood in the Wilmington, Delaware area and started using cold pressed juices as a means to introduce what healthy food alternatives could look like, could taste like, and the way they can transform your body from the inside out. It took roughly around 3 years of just hitting the ground, educating our community, and really just introducing an alternative to what they had been used to, like sugary, bottled and prepackaged containers. And after really spending that time with the community on the ground and continuing to grow and expand and going from one team to three to seven to 10 and then launching a community garden and an outdoor kiosk, the demand had grew so large in our community that people said they wanted more access to healthier foods, and that's when we decided to go to scale and to launch the restaurant in 2019.
That's amazing, Jason. Juices, the fresh juices. Why did you start with that? Because a lot of times I find that may be challenging for the community to accept, right? Did you
Yeah.
find that as you were shopping? And 3 years is pretty decent because if you're opening up a food service business, the first year is going to be challenging, and the first 3 years. So 3 years is pretty cool to be opening up your location. But why did you start with fresh juices, and what were the flavors of the juices?
Yeah, good question. So we wanted something that was going to be relatively easy to consume, and we entered the market with a 100% cold pressed watermelon juice, and that was very intentional. Like we wanted something that was going to be easy on the palate, approachable to the palate, and also something that they could relate with. We know that in our culture, like watermelon is a staple food. So we knew when it came to like introducing it as a beverage, it would be something that would be easy for them to understand. And then the watermelon juice tastes so good that when we launched in the summertime, it was a hit because like everyone wanted to get hydrated. And at the same time, we were using black cedar watermelon, 100% organic most of the time. And it was so sweet. And we would bottle it in 16-ounce mason jars, and we were selling it for $5. And if any of you know, like what the cost of a cold pressed juice is, how much work goes into it, and what it's currently being sold for in the market. That's incredibly cheap. Right now on average, your 10 to 12 ounce bottle cold pressed juice can range anywhere between $6 to $8, even $9, depending on what area you are. So we were giving you 16 ounces of cold pressed watermelon juice in a glass mason jar for $5. So it was priced right. As far as the ingredients that we use, it was an ingredient that was intentionally chosen because we knew people would resonate with it, and it tastes good, right? Because I think that's the reality of introducing plant-based vegan foods into a transitional community. Like, it has to be transitional. It has to be, you have to keep the consumer's palate in mind. And we still hold on to that principle to this very day. Like, if it doesn't taste good and we're serving a community that is transitional, we know it's going to be very difficult for them to be open to it. So it being nutrient dense and it being wholesome and even organic matters, for us in terms of like our morals, our values, and the integrity of our business. But it also has to taste good. It also has to be appeasing, and it has to be seasoned, and it has to be flavored appropriately for our people to even want to consider it. So with that juice, it seemed to kind of check off all those boxes, and it was really attractive, and we launched in the summertime. And we use that as a tool to just educate people on the options that exist outside of your 50, 75 cent to $1, sodas at the corner store, or, things like, your Sprite and your Coke. And it took some time. At first people were like, I've never spent $5 on a drink, let alone have I ever heard of watermelon juice. And we spent a lot of time giving away product. We spent a lot of time getting people to sample it, and then that evolved into doing educational workshops into the community. And then we started introducing like carrot juice, and then we started introducing blends. So we do like a carrot, orange, pineapple, ginger, and then we started doing like an apple, beet, carrot, and then we evolved into a green juice. And we always launch with education first, like getting people to understand the value of switching over to a more healthy alternative product versus eating and drinking what they're currently consuming. And that educational aspect is the anchor, because if they don't understand the value of it, they're not going to invest their dollar in it, especially if they're already short when it comes to money. Like, the value proposition has to make sense for your consumer and the demographic that you wish to serve. But the education was the foundation. The product tasting good and being priced appropriately as far as like what you can get in the market at that time was another one. And then approachability. Like, we approach people with like a no judgment policy. So we're not here to judge you. We're not here to convert you. I'm not here to force you to be vegan. We led with, this tastes hella good. It's super hydrating. It's hot as hell outside, and give it a try. And in most cases, if we got people to try it, they enjoyed it. And then we teach them on the health benefits, and that pretty much sealed the sale. But it was definitely work. It was a lot of work. But we knew we wanted to do it because over 65% of Wilmington is categorized as a food desert.
Mm-hmm.
So we knew that this was something that had to happen. We knew the change had to happen, but we just had to spend the time on the ground to actually make it come full circle.
You are speaking my language, Jason, and that's probably because we're from the Bronx and we're Puerto Rican. But
Yeah.
that was a great segue into my little commercial. You are tuning in to Naijha Speaks. Naijha Speaks is a product out of the Black Veg Society, where I am an executive director, and we are meeting people where they are on their holistic health, vegan, and plant-based journey. I am speaking to Mr. Jason Aviles today. He is the founder of Green Box Chicken in Wilmington, Delaware. And he also has some other projects coming up. And as a matter of fact, I think we had a question about that. Tom, thank you for tuning in. Tom is asking you about the mobile yoga company. Can you talk to us about your mobile yoga company, please?
Yeah. So I actually started with the yoga first. I graduated from a consciousness-based education university in Iowa called Maharishi University of Management. That was one of the universities that was founded upon this meditation technique called Transcendental Meditation. It's the same meditation technique that Oprah does, Jim Carrey, Russell Simmons, Deepak Chopra, the Beatles. I mean, Ellen, you name it. And there's a lot of these closet meditators in the industry that all went to this university. I found out about it in 2011 after working professionally with youth for about 10 years. So I used to counsel youth in maximum security youth prisons. I used to do IEP development, behavior counsel work, starting when I was about 19 in the South Bronx at a special education high school. So after all that experience working with kids, I felt like I was failing them because no matter where I went, I saw that we weren't addressing the root cause of their behavior issues. And that led me to quitting my job and trying to find an alternative method to education. That's when I found the Consciousness-Based Education University in Iowa. And when I was there, I met a brahmacharian who's now a Swami from India. And he basically put me under his wing, introduced me to his community. And for 3 years, I just took a deep dive into the practice and lifestyle of yoga. That's actually where I became vegan in 2011. And at the time, I was pescatarian. Then I had became vegetarian because the school has a 100% organic vegetarian diet. And then after being vegetarian, he told me to cut out the dairy because I had been born with asthmatic and respiratory issues. And a combination of becoming vegan and taking a deep dive into the lifestyle and practice of yoga changed my life. I lost over 100 pounds in less than 3 months. And really what I found was myself and a catalog of tools and techniques and information that could be of service to people in our community. When I graduated college in 2014, I moved back to Delaware, and that's when I launched the mobile yoga company, FLYOGI. We started with a yoga studio, and it didn't work. It failed because of our area, and we pivoted and we went mobile. So right now we introduce a holistic youth development program into schools, into communities, and corporate environments. So we teach meditation, mindfulness, nutrition, and different yoga practices, tools, techniques, and knowledge to serve as a means of personal growth and development and obtaining life skills. So we're looking to replace in-school suspension with meditation rooms. We're introducing personal growth development to accompany academic learning experiences for kids in schools. And we've been doing this work since 2014. So it's going on about 9 years now. We've been doing this, and I have a team of instructors right now on the ground who still does this work. Every now and then I teach depending on the opportunity, and it's going great. So no matter where we are, we can bring yoga to you.
I am so glad that you said that, Jason. Here in Baltimore, we have the fantabulous diva yogi Michelle Stafford that we work with at Black Vet Society, and I was just speaking with her about you, and she's following you on Instagram now because we were doing a fundraiser at the Land of Kush yesterday for Black Vet Society, and I think you two would be a perfect connection.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
we'll connect. Yeah, it's Diva Yogi on Instagram. I
Okay.
think you too, especially if you're saying you're mobile, because I love to bring you down here to do work with us on some projects, collaborate on some projects. So
Yeah.
yeah, let's circle back and talk about that soon. But
Bet.
the restaurant,
Yes.
how is it doing? We went through the
Hmm.
pandemic for a couple of years. Yeah, I'm sure you
Yeah.
felt it.
Yeah. Jeez.
How are things
You
coming
know.
along? Challenges, successes. Let us know because I know I have my stories.
So I want to be very clear here. Like, I did not want to open up a restaurant.
You had that problem too.
I did not want to open up a restaurant. I had no restaurant experience whatsoever. But the community, like, they wanted this, like, and I knew I could pull it off, and I have a business partner as well, John Naughton. He's involved and he really helps out a lot. But it was because the community wanted me to do it, and I knew the impact that it would make that I did it. Now, 3 years later, knowing what actually is required to uphold and successfully manage a restaurant, would I do it again? Only if the conditions and environment were exactly what they needed to be. Like, we had no infrastructure, we had no background, we had no capital, we had no people. Like, it was just pure bootstrap and vision. That's it. Like, we didn't know what operations were. We didn't know how to price out a menu item. We didn't, nothing. Logistics, training, hiring, onboarding. Like, we had no idea what any of this stuff was. We just led with this vision to serve our community the best food that we can come up with and create. And we grew too fast, too soon. We opened up 3 locations in less than 1 year.
Wow.
Because at the time, shit was booming. But mind you, we opened up October of 2019. COVID hit March of 2020. So we had been open a little more than 6 months before, like, we got hit. So, like, those first 6 months, we were rocking. Like, we had a team of 4 full-time staff. We were open 6 days out the week, pretty much from, like, morning to evening, and totally just crushing it. And then COVID hit, and I don't have a job. Like, I'm 100% entrepreneur. So, like, I like to say, like,
The
I don't
grind.
I
You're the
only eat
grinder.
yeah, I only eat what I kill. That's it.
Right.
If
Well,
I if
we don't
I
want to
if
kill nothing.
Yeah, we don't kill it.
We don't want
But,
to kill
like, if
anything.
I'm killing it in business, then I eat. But if
Okay.
business ain't up, I'm not up. So when COVID hit, that was when, like, we felt it. And to be honest, it it has it hasn't gone back to what it was, and I don't think it ever will be. I think we're still, even now, adapting to the new norm and how to serve people, and the way in which restaurants are changing as a result. Especially because I live in a small town community, right? Like, we don't have the foot traffic and the density of a metropolitan city, like in New York, like in Chicago, or like in LA. So, like, every single customer matters. Like, we
Yes.
feel the loss of every customer.
Yes.
And in our area, most of the people who eat with us are the people who work in the area, because we're in the downtown district. So, like, between 11 to 2, that's our sweet spot. Like, that's where we
Right.
serve most of our customers. So when you take 75% of the workforce out the office and you force them to stay home, those people aren't in our environment to spend money with us.
Right.
So, we took about a 75% loss
Ouch.
in customers, like,
Ouch.
initially.
Ouch.
And then, that number is working its way, better. We're maybe approaching, like, we probably lost, now we're probably at like 30% still. But I will tell you this, what got us through it was the fact that we have a direct to consumer relationship with our customer base. Like, I know our customers. Like, when our customers come into our shop, they know us, they know our story, they know we're invested into this community, and they love our food. Like,
That's
if we didn't
important.
serve food with integrity, and if we didn't have a real relationship with our customer base, hands down we wouldn't make it. And what a lot of people don't realize is why you're just starting now to see a lot of these small businesses fail is because a lot of that money that was introduced post COVID to help float businesses through the obstacles is now drying up. So now you're just starting to see businesses having to survive off of the money that they actually make, the net amount that's left over from the money that they actually make. Now businesses are being forced to survive off that. Now you don't have the insulation of these grants and these loans. And all of that is done now. All that is dried up. So you're gonna start to see businesses fail now more than you were seeing them fail a year or two ago.
Yes.
So you and we all know the symptoms. You start trimming the menu down, you start reducing your hours, you start sending people home early, you start running on a lean skeleton staff model. And those are usually symptoms that, like, businesses are just having a hard time keeping up with the cost of doing business and making sufficient amount of money in order to stay in operation. So, if you're a consumer, like, listening to this and you support your local businesses, your dollar is so important. Your dollar could be the difference between that restaurant staying open or closing. That's
Thank you.
how real it is
Thank you.
when you enter an independently owned and operated local business in your community.
Thank you, Jason, for saying that, because you are not alone. We felt the pinch, and continue to feel the pinch, and a lot of folks think things haven't been impacted by the pandemic, customers included. The COVID pandemic has impacted all food service businesses, and yes, we are all struggling to survive, and we're struggling to get staff, and we're struggling to keep good staff. So it's a lot of stuff going on, and it's going to go on through 2024, from what I understand, or 2025. So one day at a time, one week, 1 month, 1 quarter, 1 year,
Yeah.
and that's all we can do. What is your ask from the viewers today, Jason? What do you want us to do to help you?
Um, I'm just one person, a part of the culture, right? So, like, I think intentional spending is very important, and understanding the true power and impact that your dollar has when you consciously choose to spend that with a local business, in particular, a local black owned business. I don't think people understand the relationship between, capital and livelihood when it comes to independently owned black owned local restaurants, shops, businesses, you name it. You know, this money is what's supporting, our families. And I think seeing the dollar circulate more is very important, and choosing intentionally to support businesses that really have you in mind is super important, right? And I think if more people were conscious and self-aware of the value of their dollar, and how that dollar then gets reinvested when you spend that with local businesses back into your community, then I think there'll be that much more intention behind spending. So, I would ask the viewers today to just be intentional with your spending, be conscious with your spending, and if you want to make a direct impact in your local community, spend your money in your local community, through local businesses, because like people like myself, and I'm sure you as well, we're taking this money and we're investing that into payroll, which is hiring people from the community. So we're giving jobs directly to people from the community. And a lot of times these job opportunities and positions, we're not just teaching them hard skills. We're in the kitchen, but yet they're learning life skills. They're learning time management. They're learning food preparation. We get a lot of people who come into our restaurant and work for us and have never been vegan, have no idea what vegan even is. And they leave introducing more plant-based options into their food, into their household. And that begins to spread. And now they're eating healthier. And then their kids are eating healthier and their family. Like, we're transforming communities through this service of food. So there's so much more that's happening when we're enabled to operate through people consciously spending their money with us. So yeah, that would be my message: just being intentional and conscious with your spending, and to really know that it goes a long way, and it truly does make an impact in our local economy and our local ecosystem.
What's your most popular dish on the menu? Because I have to get up there, and when I get up there soon, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be soon. So I want to know, what are some of the items that I should be looking for?
Oh man, so we've won awards for best grain bowl in the state of Delaware, best smoothies in the state of Delaware, best acai bowl in the state of Delaware, best vegan and vegetarian restaurant in the state of Delaware. So like if I had to pick the best item, it would have to probably be like the best selling item in each menu group. So like if you're coming for a smoothie, we have the Morning Green Giant. That's absolutely my favorite. Pineapple juice base, frozen mango, avocado, spinach, organic matcha, and frozen banana. So we use no water, no ice, no syrups, no alternative, unnecessary nasty sugars or anything like that. Just pure fruit juice and different vegetables and herbs. So I love the Morning Green Giant. If you want something on the sweeter side, we have the I Need a Vacation. That's like Bahamas in a cup. Our Buddha bowls are amazing. 100% alkaline. You got options from organic tricolor quinoa to roasted mushrooms, roasted chickpeas, avocado, massaged kale, spinach, carrot, purple cabbage.
You're
That's a
making me
really
hungry.
Yeah, I'm
You're making
hungry.
me
I'm hungry.
hungry.
I am hungry, by the way. So I
Just
probably
stop.
will go to the restaurant after this. So yeah, so like if you're looking for food, if you want something like wholesome and dense, the Buddha bowl, totally
Buddha
customizable,
Bowl.
built.
I'm writing
Yep,
that down.
yep,
Buddha Bowl. Any
yes.
upcoming projects or events for 2023?
We're figuring it out now.
Okay.
As of right now, nothing's on the radar. What I will say is this: it's super easy to be in touch with what we're doing. Pretty much on all social media sites, you just look up Green Box Kitchen. So we're on Instagram at Green Box Kitchen. We're on Facebook at Green Box Kitchen. We're on Google at Green Box Kitchen. So if you just search Green Box Kitchen and you follow us, we post all of our updates as far as like events and specials and community different activities going on as well too.
Now we have my sister from another mother, Alkemia Earth, that just
Mm-hmm.
joined on. And this
Hello.
last question that I'm going to ask of you, Jason,
Mm-hmm.
Alkemia can answer it too, because Alkemia is also a yogi. So, any
Awesome.
words of wisdom to share for new people getting into yoga, Jason?
I'll say this: yoga is a lifestyle. It's more than a physical practice that is composed of different physical stretches, poses, and postures. It's a lifestyle, and why it changed my life is because I realized that it was this systematic approach that equipped me with different tools and techniques that I could use to radically transform my life from the inside out. And I think if more people understood it from the beginning as a lifestyle, and they understood the eight limbs from the beginning, it would be that much more powerful, that much more transformational to their life. because then it just doesn't become a thing that you do once a day or 3 times a week. It becomes a way of being. And when you understand it as a way of being from the beginning, I think that's when you open yourself up and invite yourself to understanding the lifestyle and the depth of the practice and the lifelong commitment and devotion to the practice that just continues to unfold fortune, empowerment, inspiration, and transformation.
Jason, it was a pleasure having you today. I can't wait to get up to Green Box Kitchen
Just hit
and
me.
collaborate on some yogi stuff out here in Baltimore. Again, last
Absolutely.
time, how can people connect with you directly?
Green Box Kitchen on Instagram, Green Box Kitchen on Facebook, Green Box Kitchen on Google. Our email is hello@greenboxkitchen.com. If you want to email us, you have any creative ideas, or if you want to do any events. So yeah, pretty much just look up Green Box Kitchen, and I still respond and answer to all DMs and inboxes. And you'll be seeing me soon, because I plan on paying you another visit. I love y'all food. So you'll probably see me real soon.
Yeah, when you talk about that transition of food that's needed, yep, that's what we're all about. We got something for everyone. So thanks again.
Yeah.
Stay well, stay blessed, and happy New Year. Feliz Año Nuevo.
Gracias. Thank you, and nice to meet you, Alkemia Earth. Keep doing what you do.
Likewise.
Alkemia, we're gonna take that trip.
Hey, Naijha.
What would you say? What would you say about the yoga? I had to, because I know you're master yogi too.
No, I would not say master. Practitioner for sure.
You're master to me.
Hey, Naijha.
Hey. So what do we got today? Intuitive energy practitioner and energy alignment coach. How did you get started in this?
That's such a great question. Really, I feel like a lot of the people who get started in terms of healing are, well, I would consider myself the wounded healer. My journey started with myself. So learning to heal myself, from not only just physical health issues, but in general, mental health issues, that I think a lot of us struggle with, anxiety, depression, things of that nature. And so I was really called to, step up to my own plate for healing. And, from there, I realized that I was called to help others. And that's as simple as I can put it.
And I think that's what we all need to look to do. I've been listening to Ralph Smart since the pandemic started, and there's something that he always says. It's not about how you make $1 million. It's how can you help 1 million people, and everything else, will come after that. So that was a powerful statement that he said that clicked in my mind. Why do we need for energy alignment? Why do we need that for the practice overall? What problem is it solving?
So, I think a lot of us are only familiar with just the physical aspects of ourselves. It's kind of like, what the brother was just saying, even with the practice of yoga. A lot of people enter yoga under the impression that it's, an exercise or for, the physical benefits of it. And even if that's the case, I think that's great. But there's so much more than what meets the eye, when it comes to yoga. Even science has taught us that everything is energy. We're taught, if you guys can go way back to your science physics class, we were taught that an atom is 99.99% empty space. That empty space is just energy. So really, if you think about your reality, when it comes to, your makeup, 0.001% of you, infinity, is really physical matter. And when you wrap your mind around that and you realize that, wow, I am energy, and everything that I see and interact with is also energy, we see the importance of understanding that we are multidimensional beings, right? And so really, when we're focused on the physical aspect of ourselves, whether that be, just the body or whatever, we're understanding that we're only really engaging with less than 0.001% of who we are. So the time has come for us, I feel, to really understand, what energy is, vibration, and all of that. And ultimately, we're kind of in this period now where Earth is going through a huge transition where there's a higher consciousness taking place. So there's like this huge portal happening. So we're seeing that people are awakening at a more rapid speed. When we talk about vibration, which is just moving energy, vibration is a state of being. Okay, so when I refer to it, it's a state of being, or it could be the atmosphere or the energetic quality of a person, place or thought, even a thing. Okay, so when we talk about like vibes and all of that, when we're tuning into people's vibes and all that, that's intuitive for us because we are energy, and that's something that actually does come naturally to us. You can tell a person's energy when they walk in the room, for example, right? So while some people draw you closer, right, others can, make you want to maybe even keep your distance, right? We've all kind of experienced that. So ultimately, when we bring it all back to the beginning, when we're talking about, the conversation of energetic alignment, that's what I would refer to as harmony, chemistry. I vibe with you, you vibe with me. Energetic alignment just means that your energy is a match with someone else's, or if we're talking about a place or a thing or a thought, it's a match. It's a harmonic match for you. Okay. So the importance of that, to kind of bring it all home, is, I would say the reason why aligned energy is so powerful. Number one, when it comes to manifesting, right? Because we're natural born manifestors. In case you didn't know that, we're always manifesting. So everything is a reflection. Everything is a reflection. So you want your energy to be on point, if you will, and up to par so that you can attract the right energy match for you when it comes to people, places, things, circumstances, and also your healing.
Alkemia, to me, you're a goddess. Now, all the sisters I know there, all sisters are goddess, but you are like a goddess officially. I give you the crown because you just know this. I mean, from when we did the money ritual back the first time I did it, and then I didn't do it last year, and then this year was crazy. So that's why I'm begging you to do it again. So you having the 2-day workshop on the 12 universal laws and the 12 laws of karma, because I'm all about that. And what I heard you in those workshops say is there is no good or bad energy. It's negative and positive, and how you interpret that. That's what matters. It's not good or bad. It's what that, relation is. And I loved it. Talk to us about Ascension Academy. 8,000 students. You've worked with 8,000 students. Can you share some success stories with us? What are they saying about your workshops? Because I know I'm like a magnet to you. I'm like, where's Alkemia? I haven't spoken. I got to find out what Alkemia is doing.
Well, I've been doing my work as an energy healer, just kind of like underground. And I would say, we all have sort of our gifts, right? And so I feel like for me, I wasn't really coming forth my gifts. And so, this journey started for me way back in my teens, and I've been an energy practitioner for over a decade now. Ascension Academy was born out of spirit really pushing me to step forward with my gifts. And there's a lot of resistance, to be honest, on my end from doing that, because I was like, I don't, just nervousness and just anxiety and just like, what will people think? And, all of that good stuff. So I was nudged by spirit to come forward with my gifts and be a little bit more public and make people aware, of what I do and help people. And then the pandemic hit. So really Ascension Academy was born from both of those combined. And when the pandemic hit, I saw obviously a great need. I had an office where I was actually, seeing clients one-on-one. Obviously, when the pandemic hit, we had to close doors for a while. And then I reopened doors. But at that time when doors were closed, I was being called to show up online and just help people from their homes and, where they could tune in virtually and help guide and lead them in their healing. And so that's really how Ascension Academy was born. And there was a huge need at that time, and still is, I believe, for healing. So, we had several programs and transformational courses that we launched in the wake of the pandemic. And, we actually, with that, we had a free mini course that we launched, and we actually had over 50,000 students from around the world come through that course. And then from there, now we're actually closer to 10,000 students that we've served. So just that have, continued the journey with Ascension Academy. So Yeah, I'm really honored. I'm honored. That's really all I can say.
10,000 students. Do you have any upcoming workshops? Because I thought I saw something that I'm signing up for. So can you talk to us about your upcoming projects or events? I'm going to pull your website up in a second, but can we talk about that?
Yeah, so you tuned into our last one, which was really cool. And just I don't think I elaborated on what Ascension Academy is. It's basically an online school that's focused on energy medicine and self-healing, and bringing ancient wisdom forward for modern times. So I mean, we do expand on the field of energy healing. Obviously meditation. We get into chakra balancing, and even other transformational tools such as breathwork, yoga, crystals, things of that nature. So we're focused on ancient wisdom for modern times in terms of healing. So New Year's Day, I'm hosting this really powerful event that I was called to do called the Portal of Higher Consciousness, where you can learn to activate your empowered goddess energy through time and space. So that is an event I'm really, really excited for. We have close to 175 guests that are now already RSVP'd, and we just launched the announcement for this like 3 days ago. So we're probably going to be closing down registration soon, but basically, there's this, a lot of people understand now what higher consciousness is. So this is really asking yourself, are you really in tune with that, right? What we consider your higher self. Some people refer to it as goddess energy, God energy, source energy. Really, there's so many names for it. But when you are in tune with that, right, you become more loving and more sensitive to your own and others' needs. You become more empathetic. You can become more intuitive. Really, it's like activating a hidden superpower within yourself, even understanding your gifts. And you also can fulfill your life's purpose and, learn to express your greatest creativity, which are your gifts, right? So this is really a workshop that's centered around us being able to journey through time and space, because we're going to be working on the quantum realm, to activate, that empowered higher consciousness energy, goddess energy, to help heal soul wounds, disrupt negative karmic patterns, and really reset the energy codes of higher self connection, which is really, really important. That feeling of just, I feel disconnected, I feel out of balance, and all of that is just really a disconnect from higher self. So we're going to go in and kind of reconnect, reset the codes. So it's a 2.5-hour transformational workshop. And we begin with sort of a lecture and understanding more about what higher self is, followed by, we do an intention setting ritual, reflection, writing exercise. And then we're going to be closing with a really, really powerful higher self meditation, where we go in and help reset those codes, heal old soul wounds and things of that nature. So that's kind of the gist of it. And we're going to be covering so many topics in this 2.5-hour period, things like manifestations. I'll be sharing a message from the Council of Light. We'll be talking about self-love and duality, and following the wound, the great awakening, all of that, changing in relationships. So all of that good stuff. And it'll be really fun. It'll be transformative. So I hope that you all will want to, you can join if you want. And this is the first time that I've ever done something like this, but I'm offering this specific 2.5-hour workshop as sort of a pay what you value or pay what you want. So we've got people that are joining for $1. We've got people who are joining for $40. So first time I've ever done something like that, but it's just kind of my way of giving people a gift. Yeah.
I am signing up if I haven't signed up already, because I don't even remember, but I will be there January 1st for this Portal of Consciousness. Activate your empowered goddess energy, because again, if anybody can help you with that, it's going to be Alkemia Earth. She doesn't call herself that for anything. Shout out to Donald Morton, Donnie Glover of Black USA News and BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news. Thank you for tuning in. Naijha Speaks also contributes to Black USA News, and this will be shared on their platform as well. Thank you for that. Any other projects that if this is the next one, any goals? Let's talk about that. Goals for 2023 coming out of Alkemia Earth, because I'm going to be following you. I'm not going to be losing sight next year. I mean, this year I was crazy. It was busy. That's probably why I had all this, crazy energy stuff going on. But for 2023, I am following the Alkemia Earth. What do we got going on?
Naijha, you always show so much love. And let's take a minute out to thank Naijha for what she does, y'all. You know what I mean? Like, you're always just such you're such an amazing soul, you know. So I got to take time to just recognize you and your gifts and what you share. You know, I've known you for so long, and you've always just been sort of like that star that like shines light on people. So thank you for that. Really, my goals, Naijha, it's kind of like what you said when you read that really powerful statement, and I know exactly what book you're referring to or whatever, about serving 1 million people. That's the goal of Ascension Academy. We are here to serve. So we're positioning ourselves to serve more people, and, you know, kind of shifting the way we do things with our transformational online courses and experiences so that we can serve more people. So that is the goal and the ultimate goal of 2023. My personal goal as a healer, not only just, you know, putting out more transformational courses, but also how can I help, you know, with my services of energy healing. I think there's a need for that. And I really didn't have the bandwidth and the capacity to see as many clients last year. But I'm going to make myself more available this year to help. So, yeah.
Julie, thank you for tuning in from Canada. Julie is saying this is a very interesting topic. But with the earth being so low, the world that is, its vibration, what is done here to my animal friends and the endless war? Thank you, thank you, thank you. What can we say about that?
You know, it's a complicated subject, and, you know, I will say when we talk about low energy, again, a lot of us refer to the pain and the suffering. We have to kind of look at it from a higher point of view, I would say. And Earth is really kind of this hub, this actual universe, and Earth itself is a hub to understand duality. Duality is basically, you know, the highs and the lows, right? The left and the right, the up and the down, the light and the dark. And so what we're coming here to do is learn about what that is so that we can grow as souls. And so we're never, ever going to be able to eradicate duality on this plane of existence, because this is what this plane of existence serves for, so that we can see things from a different perspective, right? There is no love without pain and suffering and passion and all of these things. So I know a lot of us, we look at these things, it hurts our heart. Which is what drives us to be better human beings ourselves, right? And to help do our part to raise consciousness so that we can be better human beings, create, you know, a lower carbon footprint. And, you know, people like Julie, you know, the reason why this is a perfect example of what I mean by higher consciousness is there is awakening. Now we're starting to see that we're all connected, right? It's not just me, myself, and I, which is what ego has in place, but, you know, we are all connected. That's the first universal law. Within the 12 universal laws is the law of divine universal oneness, is that there is not anything that I cannot do, think, or say, or feel that will not affect the entire matrix. And so, yeah, having that empathy for all forms of life is really important. But more importantly, understanding that even the low serve a purpose. So like even for you, Julie, you can look at the suffering, right, with animals and things of that nature. And that drives you to, you know, raise your vibration in some way, become more, you know, more of a conscious human being in some way. So universe does not really define things as good and bad. It's just positive and negative. And what we need to understand is that everything is actually for the highest good. As painful and as challenging as some of these things that we experience in our own personal life and even witness on this planet are, it's actually all for the highest good.
Wow, thank you for that. Once again, everyone, you are tuning in to Naijha Speaks. Please subscribe, like, share, comment. Naijha Speaks is a product out of Black Vet Society, where I am the executive director. We are meeting people where they are on their holistic health, vegan, and plant-based journey. Please show your support at blackvetsociety.org. That's how we do things like this and interview beautiful, amazing people like Alkemia Earth. We put on Vegan Soul Fest and Maryland Vegan Restaurant Month and host Food is Medicine webinars and Keep It Fresh Fest and meatless dinners, Meatless Monday initiatives. So please, we need your support in 2023. Donate today at blackvetsociety.org. Alkemia, what else would you be doing if you weren't doing this work? Like, this is just so much like your work. Like, what else would you be doing?
Probably learning and expanding on my work because I love to learn. Other than that, just, you know, myself getting grounded, working on my own personal healing. You know, I'm also a mother of 5. So, you know, my hands are always, you know, in the mix with that, you know, so really, I'm just like everyone else. I'm here to, do the inner work, share my gifts, and, learn and expand and grow. So that's pretty much my gist, Naijha. If I'm not outside, catching a hike or, in basking in nature, I got my tea going or whatever, or, cleaning up after my kids because they're in their teenage years and they're leaving, their makeup all over the counter and things like that.
I'll be there soon, right? I got she's not a preteen yet. She thinks she's a preteen, but she will be 11. Pia will be 11 January 2nd.
Uh-huh.
She's a Capricorn.
Okay.
Aren't you a Capricorn?
I am. Yeah, January 15th.
Woo! Yeah, it's January. And then my mother is she's a December. She's the 26th, the first day of Kwanzaa, and she'll be here today. So yeah, I'm just gonna be, filled with all the Capricorns and a Cancer for a husband, please.
Oh, I have a Cancer for a husband too.
That's why I said that.
It's fun, isn't it?
Wonderful, wonderful. Any tips before we close out? Any words of wisdom that you can share for new people getting into chakra balancing? I got my chakra incense and my candles glowing over there, but anything that people should know before getting into this chakra balancing and energy work besides signing up for your courses? Because I know people gotta find their way to doing these things.
Yeah, I think, you've already been in it. You've been on this path since you were born. You're starting to awaken and become more aware of it. And I just want to say that there really is not just one path to enlightenment, to higher consciousness, but it all starts, with that internal work. So whatever path that you feel called to, at the end of the day, everything is energy. So, by you working on your energy, which is who you are, literally your makeup, okay, mind, body, soul, it's just going to make the road a lot easier when it comes to healing, instead of working within just that one dimension of life, which is the physical reality. So we're multidimensional beings. So, taking that time out to explore the other aspects of who you are, it's so fun, and have fun with it. That's another thing too. I think we get too serious. We got to have some fun, understand that this is all play at the end of the day. And we're creating our reality. So have fun with it.
Yes, and I have so much fun. I want to do that money ritual again. I am putting the website in here, Alkemia Earth. Look, portal of consciousness. Activate your empowered goddess energy. Sunday, January 1st, the Zoom. Please sign up. It's pay what you can, donate what you can. Please support my sister, because she is doing the darn thing. So register today before spaces are blocked out. Let me tell you, I've seen her have 1,000 people in a Zoom. It is not a game. So y'all better sign up for this. After this is done, I'm gonna sign up myself, because I want to make sure I get a spot. Alkemia Earth, how best can they connect directly with you?
I am on social media. There's a lot of fake pages, so beware of that. By the way, it's just my name. There's no underscores or special characters or dots or spaces or hyphens. It's just Alkemia Earth on Instagram. That's where all the fake pages are. They're hitting people up in DM, getting scammed. I don't.
Oh yeah,
they did that way. Just so you all know. And I have a lot more followers in the fake pages. So just Alkemia Earth on Instagram, Alkemia Earth on Facebook, and then of course my website, alkemiaearth.com.
alkemiaearth.com. I cannot wait to get my personal trip out to Denver, Colorado to see you. Yeah. Until then, I want to send you many, 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 many blessings to you and your entire beautiful family. Please stay well, stay safe, and have a blessed and happy new year. And for everyone else out there, please, thank you for tuning in to Naijha Speaks. If this is radiating with you or someone needs this information, please subscribe, like, share, comment, tell me what you want, what you don't want. And let's go into 2023 as gods and goddesses as we are. Thank you. Have a blessed one. Namaste.
Thank you.